Hey, it's Jim Ebert with Cancer Can Rock. Today we have Jenny Langer in doing her song, The One That Got Away. I hope you enjoy it. How are you, Jenny?
I'm good. How are you, Jim?
I'm good. I'm so happy you got in here today. Because I know it took a little bit, right? It took a little bit to get us scheduled.
It did. And admittedly, I was nervous. I think maybe I was a little hesitant for a bit, but between you and Andy Hamburger and encouraging and staying on me, I said, okay,
All right,
and
good.
Here we are.
Well, we've only had one other person that's been a professional musician, and I would call you a professional musician. I'm sorry to tell you that. It's been nice just having you come in and run through stuff, and the song is great, and you wrote it, and what's it about?
It's about a relationship that fell apart.
Okay.
A recent relationship that fell apart. So it's a little raw still, and it probably will be for a long time.
Okay. Where are you in terms of your cancer?
At this time, I am more than 6 months in the clear.
Oh, good.
Cancer-free. Basically, about a year ago, last October, doctor saw some things that looked a little abnormal, and she was very diligent, saying, despite your age, despite not having family history, I really think we should look at this more. Okay. And in November, I was diagnosed with stage 1 cervical cancer.
Okay.
And that was a blow.
Right.
Totally unexpected.
Right.
But we caught it as early as you possibly can.
Okay, good.
And thanks to her for staying on it. So in January, had a procedure, and then February follow-up, and it looked like it had done what it needed to do.
Right.
Went back in there 6 months later and still looks good. So.
Good. But you went through a breakup as well.
Yeah, and that's still running its course.
I got you.
Right
I
now.
got you.
Yeah.
And the song probably leans into both territories.
Yeah. Yeah.
Here comes the sadness. Here comes my pain. Here come my lonely tears rolling like rain.
When people say cancer sucks, they haven't had cancer, because cancer, when you get it, it sucks 10,000 times.
Yeah.
10,000-fold, right? The suck doesn't justify what it is. It doesn't. It's just going through it, the mania. When you're first, you're like, "What's happening?"
Right.
How personally for you, how did you kind of deal with all that?
I made a conscious decision, and it was not looked favorably upon by my spouse at the time.
Okay.
But I made a conscious decision to not talk to a lot of people about it, to not let a lot of people know that that's what I was going through.
Right.
So he knew, my parents knew, 2 or 3 very close friends I confided in, and that was it.
Right.
And because for me, it was scary. Of course you're going to be scared. That big C word is a very frightening word.
Right.
Even though it was stage 1, even though we were optimistic,
right,
and it looked like I really had no reason to be totally fearful about what would happen.
Right.
But I needed my life to stay as normal as possible during that process.
Got it.
I didn't want people treating me differently.
Right.
Because I didn't want to feel differently during that time. I wanted to know that on the other side I was going to come out relatively, hopefully, unscathed physically, and that things would just go back to how they were. That's all you really want. It doesn't always happen for everybody, but that was how I decided to move through that.
We're both in an industry. For me, I can't speak for you. I felt a little bit like I had a scarlet letter, because I had brain cancer diagnosed 16 years ago, and I just felt like I can't let people know this.
Yeah.
In this business. I literally was at a dinner with one of my clients, one of my artists in Atlanta, and he had one of the songwriters come in to dinner, and his friend goes, "I thought you were dead." You know what I mean? He goes, "Oh," I said, "I don't think I'm dead, but but it's that thing, because this business is a very strange business with affliction."
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? You don't like to leave that out there, and I did hide it for a while, other than steroids puffing me up like a marshmallow balloon. But at a certain point, I said, you know what, I'm wearing it.
Yeah.
I'm wearing it, and you know, kind of started this foundation to wear it. And if people don't hire me because I've had cancer or have cancer, then I don't want to work with them.
Sure.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I don't know if you went through anything because it's personal.
It's very personal. I didn't want people treating me differently.
Yes.
You know, I didn't want to be at a gig and have people looking at me
Right?
differently.
Can I get you this? Can I get you
Yeah.
that?
With this strange air of pity and concern.
Right.
And the constant questions of how do you feel? You know,
Right.
you just don't want that.
Well, in people's defense, I don't know if there was a response.
Yeah, it's
You
true.
know what I mean? Because you know, you see someone from you, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
What do they say? You know, you look great. You look like hell. I mean, what are the, you know? What do you know?
Yeah.
Are you doing okay? And I mean, that's the one you get all the time. Are you doing okay? And
Right.
what numbers, whatever the case may be. Because I didn't want that either, right? But I also didn't like the silent quiet.
Yeah.
There's always this little barrier, you know. And I think once I kind of owned it and said, yeah, I got cancer, and then blah, 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 it's okay, you know. And I treated it with humor,
Yeah.
as just going through my whole.
Well, you still do.
I still do. I still do. And I started this foundation just for people like you, just to help, because as you know, when you get this, not many things go well.
Yeah.
You know, this is something maybe a little extra that can go well.
Yeah. Thank you.
You know, no, thank you for coming in, because I know I know it's tricky, and I know it's personal, and I know it's your art form. I know all of those things, but I still want you in here, right? So I have to push a little. Sometimes I have to push a little more, you know, to get
Yeah.
people in.
When I finally found out that a month after the procedure that it looked like it had worked, I was cancer-free, I made the decision to do one single social media post, finally at that point, telling folks what had just happened. As a way, hopefully, to make other people my age aware that it doesn't
Right.
matter how young
Good.
you are or how young you think you are, this stuff can happen.
Right.
And I was shocked at the response that got. People messaging, commenting, saying, oh, I went through something similar. Oh, my sister. Oh, my best friend. And it was shocking to see just how many people had gone through something similar like that. And it made me realize that we don't often talk about this stuff.
Right.
As a society, as
Right.
a community. So if anything, hopefully this helps that conversation, and even an organization like this can help that conversation.
Absolutely. I want to thank you again for coming in today and doing this song with us, because it's going to turn out great.
Well, thank you so much for inviting me and for keeping on me. It's a great opportunity, and you've been amazing in the booth as a producer, but also as a wrangler. Musicians, honestly, a room full of brilliant artists. I'm really, really happy with how
Good.
everything's turned out.
I have said this on every video, and I will say it here again. They're amazing players, but they're better people.
Sure.
You know what I mean?
Sure.
So it's just a pleasure to have you in, and I wish you the best, of course.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank you
my
so
pleasure.
much.
Thanks.